Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is, I guess I should say Thursday or Friday, because I've actually got a video that I'm supposed to put up this week that I've already made, and I've been meaning to put it up. So I'm not sure if you guys are going to see this Thursday morning or Friday morning. So needless to say, today's video, I want to talk a little bit about what is the end game in silver? What is the end game in gold and silver and precious metals? What is the long-term reason for us stacking? You know, you hear all the common stuff of, you know, hey, I'm buying, I'm just going to give it to my kids. It's generational wealth. And, you know, that's great. That's something everybody says. But what is the real end game? There's a lot of different end games for people, and it's not just wealth preservation, generational wealth. You know, I got asked a little while back on what is the scenario you'd sell your silver, and maybe you've said it in a video, and I have before, but I'm going to kind of run over it a little bit again. What is the purpose for saving gold and silver? Why do we buy it? It's not just wealth preservation. I'll give you the basics, and I'm going to give you a little bit more in depth, because I have a friend that he's nearing retirement, and, you know, he's on the fence of, you know, hey, what am I buying all this for? Why do I keep buying it? What is my goal? Do I just go and sell it? Am I going to have a hard time selling it? And I'm going to show you a really cool pickup that I picked up today at spot price. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. So if you guys enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit the thumbs up button for me. I really need them thumbs up. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to grow the memberships, trying to grow comments, just any kind of interactions. Take a quick minute and see what you can do. Hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe. And if you'd like to become a member, it's only $1.99 a month. Your membership helps support the channel. And it's only $1.99 a month. Your comments instantly go to my phone, so I will see all your comments right off the bat. With over 3,500 videos now, the comments, I can't keep up with all of them. So, and on top of that, if comments coming straight to my phone isn't enough, every month we do some sort of a special members only event. And this month we're going to be doing it in about 3-4 days this weekend. And we're going to be giving away a really cool ounce of silver. In fact, I'm going to have a bunch for the winner to choose from. So please consider that. And if not, please hit the subscribe and the thumbs up and leave me a comment, because that costs nothing. And it really helps out the channel too, because we are trying to grow the channel. With that being said, let's jump into today's video. I don't know if I should show you the purchase that I picked up first or not. I'm going to show you the purchase that I picked up first. Check that out. I ended up picking up that today. That is a 10-ounce bar. I actually picked up 2 of them, and I got a great deal on them, even though I was hesitant at first to buy them. A lot of it stemmed from me kind of going overboard this month. My money resets on the 16th, and I said I wasn't going to buy any this month. I was going to take a month off, and literally the 16th came and I blew half my money, and the 17th came and I blew the other half. You guys are going to see some monster package openings in the next week. That's going to blow your mind. So it's going to be really cool to see that. And I pretty much spent everything this month on precious metals. The whole thing. I said, you know what? I'll make my budget work. I'll figure it out. And I actually picked up 2 of these anyway. I didn't want it at first, but then when he said spot price, we went back and forth a little bit. I still didn't exactly want it at spot price, because 10-ounce bars, a lot of people frown on them because they're just plain. There's not much cool design to them. I ended up letting one of my buddies end up getting one of them, though, for spot price, and I kept the other one at spot price. And the reason I let him get it was I needed something from him, and I was going to give him some money for it, but then he said, nah, just take it. I said, you know what? How about I give you a 10-ounce bar for what I just bought it for? And he's like, will I be able to ever cash that in? Will someone buy that? Do people like 10-ounce bars? You know, there's a lot of people out there that like certain things. Maybe they like 10-ounce bars. Maybe they like kilos. Maybe they don't. But the truth of the matter, I've always said that if you buy something right, you can't lose. So picking up a 10-ounce bar at spot price, you really can't go wrong, in my opinion, unless the bottom just fell out of it. But at the end of the day, you still have your 10-ounce bar. And I find that hard to believe that that could even happen. Maybe temporarily we could see it, But long term, I don't think we would see any major drop. In fact, I think we're going to see $35, $40 by the end of the year. We still got time, 6 months. We're already up pretty good so far in the year. So, that was my thought. So I had to pick it up. Now, I want to get into the topic, though, of the day, which is why people would sell. What is the end goal? So for a lot of you guys have plans on it's generational wealth. You're going to give it to your kids. And some people that I've heard say that don't even have kids. And they said, well, down the road, you never know. And that is a possibility. You never know what the future holds. You almost have to break down every possible scenario to really know what the best outcome is. But the truth of the matter is, just holding it protects your purchasing power. It goes up in value. When prices of everything we buy go up, silver and gold goes up. And it's not even just that, because there's a lot of reasons other than that. Like if you're thinking there could possibly be a dollar collapse, well, that would be pretty bad if you had all your money in dollars and the dollar collapsed even by 50%. Imagine your money being worth half the price, or maybe your money not being worth anything at all, and you want something to carry into the new system. Some people believe in a debt jubilee. For those of you guys that have never heard what that means, that basically means a full reset. Whatever you owe somebody goes to zero, and whatever they owe you goes to zero. Now, I find that really hard to believe that could ever happen, because essentially the world wants control. The elites, the high-ups, they want control. And once you've gained control of a population by enslaving them into debt, I find it really hard to believe that anything could ever happen that would make that go away, that would make someone want to give up that control over another person. Now, it says in the Bible, I don't talk about religion a lot on the channel, but it does say in the Bible to be careful with debt, because a borrower is a slave to the lender. And, you need to understand that it's not just that it's a religious thing, but it's also a part of life thing. You see people day to day right now that are so far in debt that they can't even make the minimum payment. They're getting to a point where the minimum payment is becoming too much. You take a look at the United States debt, $35 trillion in debt. Do you think we have that? Do you think we have a plan to pay that back? There's no plan. Eventually, they will have to default on it. Just like a person that has boxed himself in the corner with credit cards will have to default on their debt. Now, the government has a lot of sheep. And what I mean by that is a lot of taxpayers. A lot of people that have been paying into the system, and they continue to pay, and now they're hiring even more tax agents so they can collect every penny out of people. And at a certain point, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. People are already getting boxed in, stressed out. More people are defaulting on their credit cards. More people are defaulting on their debt. And I even know people that have basically came out and just said they can't afford to pay their taxes anymore. They've lost their homes to property taxes, or they're in debt to the IRS. And it almost seems like there's really no end in sight. But the truth of the matter is, when you're buying precious metals, it's a savings that's outside the control of anybody. I mean, let's hypothetically say you have $5,000 in silver hidden away somewhere. It's pretty hard to lose that. You control that. That is a savings that is out of anybody's hands. If the bank collapses, you still have your silver. If the dollar collapses, you still have your silver. And at that point, you can probably bet that silver will be worth even more at that point. Why? Because people will be scared. And when people get scared, they always move to the safest thing they can grab. And that's silver and gold. It's been silver and gold forever. We've just been accustomed to making big returns on the stock market, Bitcoin, crypto, and we started gambling more and more. But there's a reason, too, that people might have to sell their silver. And I kind of got way off topic. I hate to say that. And I'm not going to start the video over now, though. But you have to see that there are reasons that it's okay to sell silver. Obviously, if you have some silver and you have an opportunity to take some profits or sell some down, and you're going to use the money wisely, buy a piece of land, pay off your house, buy a vehicle so you can go to and from work, it's not a bad thing. Now, I had someone, though, ask me recently about, hey, I'm getting ready to retire. What is the end game with my silver? And I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, well, why have I been stacking gold and silver? Yeah, it has a lot of value, but do I just drive it somewhere? Or do you know someone that will buy it off me? Or I said, well, first of all, yeah, you could drive it to a refinery and we could sell it all if you wanted to go that route. But that ain't the route I would go. He said, well, what would you do? I said, I would take a look at how much money I need now that I'm retired in bills. And let's say my bills come out to, I'm just going to throw out some wild numbers here for a minute because I don't know his bills and I don't really have a whole lot of bills. But let's say your bills come out to $2,000 a month and your Social Security is $500 a month. Maybe you have some kind of little pension that pays you out an extra $200 or $300 a month. We'll even say 500 for easy math. So you got a 500 Social Security, you got a 500 pension, but you got $2,000 a month in bills. Could you quit working? Well, you're $1,000 in the hole. You can either cut back on your bills. Usually, though, when you get ready to retire, you should be getting your bills as paid down as possible. That should be your goal. You shouldn't owe anybody anything at that point, aside from property taxes, water bill, power bill, cable bill, maybe internet bill, whatever the necessities are, food bill. But other than that, you shouldn't be owing cars. You shouldn't be owing on your house. You shouldn't be doing any of that. But let's just say, you owe $2,000 and you're taking in still $1,000 and you're retired. Well, that's a month. Well, maybe you got a couple options. You take 1 ounce of gold and you go and you sell it this month and you take that money and you split it, put $1,250 in for 1 month and $1,250 in for the next month. And then in 2 months from now, when you go and you have spent that money and now you need more money to offset your bills, well, gold could be up to $3,000. And anybody that has any doubt only needs to look at what we've seen in the last 6 months. If you had sold all your gold or silver 6 months ago, think about that. It's up 25% on your gold, 18% on your silver right now. I would want to still hold it. I would only want to sell what I need to sell to get by. Obviously, you might get to the point where you're like, you know what? I really want to do something that's productive. I want to get some beehives. I want to start up some beehives and make a little bit of income. It's fun. A lot of people like bees. I got some honey right here. Good stuff too. The good honey, all natural. The bees did all the work, but someone bought some hives. They put the bees in there and they go out and they collect the honey once every 6 months. Maybe you want to do that and you look into it and you know what, to start out beehives, a nice startup. You could do 1 hive and maybe you'll just be out like $300-400 and then a suit, maybe another $50. But you know what, if you're going to do all that, if you're going to buy a suit, buy the tools, buy the stuff, you just go all in. Let's say you sell off 1 ounce of gold. That's $2,500. That's more than enough to pick up 6, 8, 10 maybe hives and a suit and the tools you need to get going. Think about that. 1 ounce of gold could start a business that's going to produce you something every month. And let me tell you, honey like this, natural honey, this brings in $15 a bottle roughly. Think of the silver you could buy getting in bottles like this. Every 6 months, you get maybe, if you got 10 hives, a hive can produce, 10, 15, maybe even 20 bottles, depending on how big the hive is. Think of the amount of money that would come rolling in. And you make it into a business. I've been contemplating different stuff. You guys know one of the places I want to move is the Philippines. Why? Cost of living is low, and I think that I have enough startup capital where I could do something over there. What would I do? I've thought about doing chickens. I can tell you chickens are extremely easy. The chickens go find the food. The chickens, they eat everything. They will eat bugs. They'll eat anything. And therefore, then they'll lay eggs. And if you have a nice little setup, they'll go lay their eggs where they're supposed to lay them, in a nice little house. And then you end up taking their eggs each day. I recommend you put a wooden egg in there so they always come back to that wooden egg and lay more eggs. You can usually get them at like Hobby Supply or something. And then it produces money. It's something that produces. And even if you don't eat the eggs, even if you don't want to sell them, usually you can hire someone to help you out with it. And it can be theirs. My son used to run our little chicken coop deal. And we'd get eggs, and he would take the egg money and he'd buy a little bit of silver, a silver dime, a silver quarter, that type of stuff. And it was free. So, it's easy to do. There's a lot of reasons why people would sell their silver. And just because someone sells does not mean it's a bad thing. Silver is meant to be money, and money is meant to be a tool. If used properly, you don't just hoard your money and hold it and save it for everything. You have to use it as a tool. It takes money to make money. And a lot of people really, it's funny because a lot of people don't even understand these rules. I had a comment this morning. All the comment said was, he who has the gold makes the rules. And that's a funny comment because I remember hearing that all the time growing up. Anytime I see my dad and he told me to do something, and I'd be like, hey, can I get a 20 or can I get some money or, whatever. That would be the comment he would tell me when he'd tell me to do something. Yeah, look, you want that. I want you to start paying attention in school. I was never a fan of school. I'm not a person. I have a hard time following orders. If I feel that someone is not thinking or not really thinking about what's going on, I don't like it. And I just felt like when I was in school, I always felt like it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. The stuff they teach you, it's useless stuff. A lot of the stuff I learned in school, I don't even use today. And some people say you'd be surprised, but maybe I would be. But it seemed more like the school system was meant to teach people to stand in line, ask permission to do something, do as they're told, a lot of that type of stuff. And I was never a fan of school. And he would always tell me that comment whenever I had to have a talking to about why I need to focus and do better and this and that. He'd always say, he who has the gold makes the rules. But at the end of the day, did he have the gold? No. He had paper. He had paper. He associated this with gold. And I'm like, I didn't know it then, but now we look back at that and we understand these rules, these sayings have been there forever. This is not gold. He who has this might make the rules temporary because we're convinced to use this, but at the end of the day, this can come crashing down. And when it does, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be left hungry. I got a comment the other day from someone. It was actually an email. And he had told me how he had traveled all over because he was military. And he'd been to the Philippines, Saigon, Taiwan, South Korea, Okinawa, all these different places. And needless to say, he said, people take for granted. People don't understand how lucky we are. We have it made here. And when you have too much, you lose track of what's important. Family, friends, this and that, health, time, People focus sometimes on saving, even gold and silver, too much. I'll be honest. I've started noticing that about myself. I have a couple of friends that have said that. They're like, dude, that's all you do. You stack, stack, stack. I said, yeah, but I don't want to be, working at Walmart when I'm 70 or working at McDonald's when I'm 80. I want to have a plan. The government's not going to be there for you. at the end of the day. I know a lot of people think, oh, I'll get Social Security. They've been saying there won't be Social Security for 50 years now, and they still got Social Security. When you retire, you'll have Social Security, and what? What will that be? What do people get on Social Security? $500? $600? That's not a lot of money. With the way prices are going up, now they're talking about price controls. What do you think price controls? We did a video on that the other day. Price controls are only going to cause more shortages. You know, so people just don't really understand what's going on. But there's lots of reasons why you should consider selling your silver if you need money, if it's the right thing to do. I know one guy, it was funny, before I end the video, he actually had a younger girl come to visit him. And he had told me, he goes, look, I need to sell this 1 ounce gold eagle. I need some money. Can you help me out? Put someone with, you know, that will take it. He goes, I'm willing to even take spot price for it. And I said, yeah, I can find someone. I know someone right now that would take it. And he did. And he ended up having a girl come and visit him. Spend all that money. That's not really a good reason. Did he have fun? I'll bet you he had fun. But at the end of the day, does he have anything to show for it? You know, stacking, it's money. You need to be responsible with your money. You need to be responsible if it's fiat money, and you need to be responsible with your stacking. Stacking should be a priority, a certain priority, you know, not obviously above people and health and this and that, but it needs to be like paying yourself first. You know, I always used to hear people say you need to pay yourself first in terms of a savings. You need to put the money in your savings account first, and then you end up paying your bills, and then you end up getting the fun money. But savings account is silver and gold. It's the ultimate wealth protection, the ultimate savings. You know, I apologize. Like I said, I don't know if I said in this video, my stack looks a little light today because I actually pulled a bunch of stuff out to go show it to someone, and I haven't put it back up yet. So it's looking a little low. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not sure if you guys are going to see this on Friday or on Thursday, like I said, but I'll figure that out probably in the morning. So with that being said, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget, we are going to go live one day this week. I will end up saying it in the morning before the video, like, oh, hey, we're going to go live tonight or whatever the case may be. That way you guys know, well, he's going to be on. And usually the time I get on is right around 9-ish, maybe 9:30-ish, somewhere between 9 and 9:30 Central Time. So with that being said, and that's when we're going to give away a free ounce of silver to a lucky member. And it's only $1.99 to be a member. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again next time on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye.